like I have a tendency to not say anything ever, and then just sort of like take things upon myself and not say anything and not say anything and not say anything when something's bothering me, and then I get to a point where I can no longer take it, and then I like flip out and I like leave, or I disappear, or I cannot do it physically anymore, and so I'll have to get out like so quickly, and then I'll leave kind of like you know what I mean, like you just physically can't do it anymore, which is valid. But then, you know, it's like I need to start getting better at saying like, no, now actually when I'm noticing the signs of like not being able to handle this, to speak up and be like, I cannot handle this. Because it's true that it's unfair to expect people to read my mind, you know? So I was so brave during my lunch break with my manager the other day. I spoke out and I was like, I'm really fucking tired. I was like, I'm so fucking tired. I can't do this anymore. And I didn't thank you so much for the frog song. So true. And I didn't like force the issue because I knew that we were going to be having these evaluations, but I did at least speak up a little bit, which is good. I don't usually do that. Hi, Larku. Oh, Larku, welcome on in. You control the child Cinna. So that's a character of Game of Thrones. Thank you. If Cinna ever becomes a mom, there'd be Cinna mom, like Cinnabon. So true. How would you feel if your name was Cinnamon? I would probably want to change my name if my name were Cinnamon. Locked in, big hat, tits out, can't be fired. Fucking exactly, JJ. Although if I got my tits out at work, they would probably fire me. Johansson, good morning. We love asking for more when we deserve it. Thank you so much, Square Savage. It is still called job market for a reason, so heck yeah, ask for more. Thank you so much, JJ. I will. I'm going to speak up for myself. I'm going to be like, this is untenable. I cannot do this anymore. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it when I got there. I've always had an issue with this. I've always had an issue with this practice. I know how I feel after humaning for 24 hours. It's not even a stressful situation, but I don't want a person trying to help me remain life. Exactly, Jane. Like, it's a huge issue. It's a huge issue, but there is also the issue of like there not being, like, physically not being enough healthcare workers. So the thing is, like, that's a whole nother can of worms, right? If there physically are not enough healthcare workers so that people's lives can be saved, and so people are forced to work like 24-hour shifts, like that's a whole nother, we need to talk about, well, why aren't people becoming healthcare workers? Like, what are the issues there? That's a whole different discussion, you know? And it's an important discussion to have, absolutely. Like, we really do need discussions like that. That's just like not my case though, you know? I mean, I know you weren't saying it was, but it's like that's an excuse that people will tout around, like, okay, well, there aren't enough, so obviously we just need med students to work 24-hour shift. And it's like, no, what we need is reform. What we need is reform, or at least at the very bare fucking minimum, higher wages. You know, but like that's a whole different thing. I do this all the time and it's so bad. I've been trying for ages to get better about speaking. Burger, it's so challenging. I like totally get that. It is so challenging to speak, to open your mouth and be like, hi, I am not happy. Because my default mode is like trying not to make waves and trying to be accommodating and trying to make sure that everyone else is like comfortable and happy. And I'm like, well, if I'm not happy, like, that's okay. I don't have to say anything about it. You know? And it's like, well, no, you should say something. It's actually very, very important that you say something. But I fully get that, Burger. And it's a real challenge. It's like a real problem, genuinely. It's caused issues in my life, me being unable to speak out for myself and speak up for what I need. So I'm going to try to get better at that. I wish I was better at this. Proud of you, Frog. That's good. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's really tough, though. It's like, I fully get that, though. I'm not good at it at all. And I think that, like, I know that, like, I have a coworker and I really admire her for this. She does not have a problem speaking out. Like, when she's mad, when she's mad or when she's uncomfortable, she'll fucking, like, you know she's mad. You know she's uncomfortable. Like, she does not have an issue being like, I'm upset for this reason. And when I first started working with her, I was like kind of intimidated and like, oh my God, like she's, I don't know if we're gonna get along, because I thought that, you know, because I was just intimidated. I was intimidated by that presence. But she's like, I really, really like her. We get along great. But I really admire that about her, you know. But the thing is, because she's so open about it, she gets penalized. Like, people, like, sometimes the bosses think that she's like being disagreeable or like being difficult. And I think there's a bunch of like sexism mixed up in that, because there always fucking is. There's a bunch of sexism. There's a bunch of misogyny. There's a bunch of like unfair, unrealistic expectations to be put on, you know, women. Because she does identify as a woman, and she, you know, and so I think that that's a whole different discussion. But it is true that when you start speaking up for yourself and you start like being like fuck politeness, I don't like this, I don't want this, like, you can be labeled as difficult. And I think that that's always been, that's never been something that I was able to handle. I'm not able to handle being a problem, which I know is shocking because I'm such a gremlin, but it's so true. I'm proud of you speaking up here. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. Every step in the right direction is a good step, no matter how small. Thank you so much, Burger. Thank you so much. And I cannot wait to take even more steps when I have my evaluation. And be like, if you guys don't fucking change this, I will be leaving. I cannot do this anymore. You get delayed and fingers crossing. So catch chain 3 of 3. Oh shit, JJ, you got this. You got this. We need more healthcare workers. Why doesn't everyone work in healthcare? Healthcare workers, 24-hour shifts, shit pay, overworked, exactly, Square Staffits. Nugar!
Not to interrupt this important conversation, but Fred float flading.
Nugar, please interrupt this conversation. I love talking about all topics. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for the 17 biddies. It is Flat Frog Friday. Can you fucking believe, Nugar? Nugar, look at this little guy. I have to say, I think that this little guy is giving big Nugar energy. Something about his face. Look at his face, Nugar. This is how I see you. Jumping in and out of nowhere, but it's a whole thing about people not acting the way people expect can be applied to any gender. Very true. Very true, maybe Christine. Thank you so much for jumping on in. It's good to see you. How are you doing? No, if that isn't a mood frog, it's a huge mood. You know, it sucks that we all know what the mood is, but I'm glad I feel less alone. Good morning, Christine. That's an interesting point, though, that it's a whole thing about people not acting the way people expect. That is very, very true. There are so many different standards put on every gender. What I should say, every perceived gender. When people perceive you a certain way, they expect you to behave that way. And when you break that expectation and you behave in a different way, it makes some people like uncomfortable. It like puts it sort of jars their perception. And when people have their perceptions jarred, sometimes they can react poorly and negatively and then blame that on you, which is like not your problem, but people will make it your problem. So that's a really interesting point. You're so right. So glad we give you space to be a problem. Thank you, Jeffrey. Genuinely, I know that that's kind of like a jokey thing that you said, but like genuinely, it's been so helpful. It's one of the reasons why I'm so grateful for this space. I really do feel like I've gotten to know myself like as a person a lot better, and that's like truly so real and true thanks to this space that we're creating together, which I think is really cool. I'm very grateful. Oh my goodness, soup! Oh my god, cooking soup? Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, froggies. Guys, you guys are doing so good at soup. We rarely get this far in the song. Oh, never mind. Oh my god. Eli, good morning. My snoot. Am I saying that right? Snoot? Snut? Snut. Hello, Snut. I love you so much. Good morning. Like a woman is more assertive or a man being more sensitive in the workplace to get treated. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Christine. I love that TTS alert things. Thank you so much, Zabbits. I really like the singing guy as well. They have a bunch of different Noises, yes. Sounds, voices is the word that I'm looking for. They have a bunch of different voices on the site, but I think the singing guy is nice. Thank you. Oh, or thank you. Yes. No, I think you can thank me. I think he's great. This is one of my favorite guys. But yes, yeah, my face. You wondering how Frog sees me? I see you as the you know, like the exact way that you present yourself, I would think. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Oh, like your vibes. Like your vibes. I don't know. I didn't go out in this project by wanting to make Nooglar vibes necessarily, but I just something about his gaze. I am really similar. Basically did a Yang when why are you like this letter in my written self-evaluation. Before that, I learned to speak up a bit with security issues. Sadly, the biggest feedback was the feeling of they are costing us time and money with that security request staying at advantage. Oh, that's see, but JJ, that's such fucking bullshit. I hope you know that you were absolutely right to bring up fucking security issues in the workplace. Like, it's absolutely wild that you would be made to feel bad for being like, hey, I feel unsafe. You know what I mean? I feel unsafe. There are these issues. You need to work on this. You know what I mean? Like that's that's just wild. That's absolutely wild. Time for me to think about bed and so on, but glad I could have a cozy time. It's so good to see you, chat. Yes, absolutely. Go get some good sleep. Go get some good sleep. Thank you so much for stopping by. It was really good to see you. I hope that you're doing well. Frog going on Twitch and his problem, but genuinely, Benki, that is not a joke. That's kind of exactly what happened. Like truly, so true and real. That is exactly the vibe, and I'm so grateful. Me when I tell people about my feelings and they're like, you're a guy, just suck it up and stop being a little bitch. That is a form of misogyny. That's misogyny. That's misogyny. There are so many. Okay. See, this is the thing. There's so many ways that people who are not perceived as cisgender males are negatively affected by misogyny, and it's hugely traumatic. It's such a problem. It is like one of the biggest issues I think that there is. But there's also so many ways that cisgender men or like people who have lived in that kind of category are negatively affected by patriarchy and negatively affected by misogyny. And these people sometimes who are negatively affected in that way, like internalize it and then are filled with such hatred that they then externalize it and victimize other people. And it's like this huge fucking cycle, and it's absolutely devastating. It is absolutely devastating, and I think that that's one of the biggest reasons why me personally I don't like it when people are like, oh, men are so gross, I hate men, and da-da-da-da. I think that for some it can be cathartic, and I get that, but like for me personally, I love a little nuance. I love a little gray area. I love a little wiggle room. And I think like making those flat generalizations can actually bring more harm to the conversation, because when you make those flat generalizations, so many people are left like in the waiting room of their own discussions, and like that sort of spreads out to not even just assigned male at birth people or cisgender men people, like, you know what I mean? It's like that kind of generalization leaves room for like TERF rhetoric, anti-trans rhetoric, anti-intersex rhetoric, anti-queer rhetoric, and it's like no. Like, we live in this system, and there are so many. The system is fucked, and it fucks everybody in a really unique and different way. You know what I mean? And there's so many nuances to experience. There's so many like there are so many nuances to any different kind of experience. You cannot just look at someone and be like, this person is this way, you know, or even you. Like, I personally, as a human, I've gone through so many different transformations in my queer experience, so many different transformations and understandings of myself, that it's just like, I can't, I don't like generalizations. I think that as a quick quip kind of thing, it can be cathartic. It can be comforting in its own way. Like when I was a young fru, when I was like 15, 16, and just sort of getting into like third wave feminism and reading about feminism and reading all of these different things, I absolutely kind of locked in to that kind of rhetoric. But as I expanded my understanding, both of myself and of others, like your viewpoint is supposed to change. It's supposed to become more malleable. It's supposed to become more, it's supposed to have more room for people. You're supposed to be able to hold more people in your mind and in your heart as you get older. You're supposed to learn how to do that. And I think from, you know, different points, if you can't, I don't know, if you can't do that, or you're making a choice not to do that, it's just it's kind of dommage. It's kind of dommage. That being said, I mean, there are people who have lived such extreme traumas that they can't physically, they can't emotionally get to that point, and like that's also understandable. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to police the way people cope with their traumas or with their experiences, but I think as a larger rhetoric overarching like a movement, I think that it's more harmful. You know? Hi Eli. Hi. Going down, we're at soup now. Lily likes rocks. Thank you so much. I love rocks. Lily, I have so many rocks. Lily, I actually next to my desk, I have someone gave me like a terrarium, like a glass bottle terrarium that I was supposed to put plants in, and in fact, I just put all of my rocks. And all of my rocks, not even all of my rocks, all of my rocks could not fit in the terrarium. I actually have a bag in my entryway just full of rocks and shells. It's so good to meet you. Welcome on. If you'd like to introduce yourself, feel free to do so. I don't mean to put you on the spot. You can absolutely just like lurk and not say anything. That is totally fine. But welcome on in. More like a snoot. Snoot? Asking Frog what food she perceives us as. I think I'm giving the classic eggs Benedict vibes at brunch time, specifically with mimosas. Oh, Christine, I think that works. I think that works for you. I love egg Benedict. Ellie said, then got a personal response on lines of, hey, please tell us what we can maybe do. We'd like to keep you here, please. JJ, that's fucking awesome. JJ, that's so cool. I'm so glad they responded in that way. That's amazing. See, that could have gone poorly, but you spoke up and it didn't. At least I think, oh, I read that. Actually, say it perfect. Frog. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, did I? I think you're lying, but I really do appreciate the vibe. I believe that I missed an entire soup chain. Go to bed. Go to bed. I found the clove. I found the clove in my drink. I love a clove. Delicious. Oh, y'all doing bingo? Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I did not have the energy to do bingo today. Send me good vibes. I'm muting to call an unemployment office. Company's insolvency is officially over. I am laid off. Oh, fuck. Nulgar, you fucking got this. You're gonna kill it. You are such a hard worker. You're gonna find something that's perfect for you. I'm so proud of you for calling the unemployment office. That's such a scary thing to do, but you got this. You absolutely got this. You're gonna kill it. Do you remember half an hour when I said I wasn't ready to be awake? Jane, that's what I'm fucking saying. Go to bed. You get the vibe that one crazy pilot who agrees to fly you to the store. Honestly, very true. Hi, Nanners. Nanners, so good to see you. Welcome on in. Happy Friday. Patriarchy comes everyone. People are people abroad. But yeah, exactly. A broad brush. We do live in a society. It's so true. Rather than saying, ugh, I hate men, I prefer what even are men. Nanners, that's so good. So true. So what even is a gender, to be on that note? What even is that? I don't know. I think it's interesting too, the way that different people really vibe with different terminologies and different experiences. Like for me, for example, I know that I don't find a lot of comfort or power in being firmly defined as a certain gender one way or the other. You know, I love a good gray area. I love a good nuance. But I know from talking to like certain trans friends that it's the exact opposite. They love a firm line. They love a hard gender. For some, not saying for all, but for some. And it's just interesting that the way that nuance can grow and the way that different people find validation, and not even just validation because it's deeper than that, find different like resonance, like profound resonance in themselves and in others. And I think that that's so cool. And I think that once you start asking these kinds of questions and having these kinds of discussions, you get opened up to like how truly deep and profound the human experience can be, which is so fucking beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's like poetry. I love it. I love the nuance. I love the different steps and like the different, like the variations on experience and humanity and reality. Like, I think that's so cool. I just think it's the coolest fucking thing. And I feel like when we give broad strokes and when we say, no, this is this, and define it really strictly in that way, it takes away from so many of the beautiful things that you could learn about and know about or want to explore. And like, that's such a fucking shame. Like, why would you do that? Why would you want to make your experience smaller if you could have a larger and more profound experience? Why would you minimize yourself like that, you know? Rock collection, forbidden candy. I love a good rock. I love a good rock. This is the best news. I love rocks. Lily, is that your own emote? Lily has an emote that says I love rocks. Lily, are you a streamer? What do you stream? What kind of things do you stream? I would love to perceive. Can we talk about rocks? I would love to talk about rocks. Burger!
Headfog, I just wanted to let you know that this is genuinely one of the comfiest and most welcoming place I have ever called myself a part of, and your streams genuinely make my day so much better every single time without fail. Frog moon and is it? Why did
it say it like that? Frog moon sit. Me when I sit. Oh, Burger, I'm red. Burger, that's very sweet. Oh, what happened? Oh, what happened? Oh, no. Oh, no. Hold on. Something happened. Burger, holy fuck. Thank you so much. You did not... Okay, first of all, thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the kind words, most of all. That's absolutely wild. You did not have to say that. I am so... Burger, I'm so genuinely happy to have met you. I really appreciate you as a person, and I'm just so grateful. Thank you for being a part of this community. And then of course thank you for the biddies as well. You also did not have to do that, as you know, but mostly thank you for being here. Thank you, Burger. I might cry. Don't worry about it. I might cry just a little bit. I'm a hobby geologist. I need everyone to know that rocks are the best. I fucking love rocks. I have never gone to a place and not picked up a rock. Do you want to know something funny? When Afaj and I went on vacation, we went to a beach town that I've never been to. And as I'm sure every rock lover here knows, beaches have such good rocks. Beaches are great for finding rocks. And Afaj just wanted like to walk on the beach and like, you know, walk a couple kilometers on the beach and just like look at the surrounding like landscapes and stuff and enjoy the beach. And he had to sit me down at some point and be like, Frog, I cannot go on the beach with you because you cannot walk 1 meter without stopping 5 times for a rock or a shell or a sea glass. He was like, can you please? He was like, I am begging. Can we just walk together for a little bit? And I was like, I mean, I guess, but then I got so scared because what if I walked with him for a little bit and then I missed like the most perfect rock? What if I walked for a little bit and then I missed the rock that would truly make or break my rock collection, you know?
I have genuinely grown so much as a person in the past half year just from being in this space and talking and interacting with all the awesome people in this community. I love this place that you have created for all of us to just be silly beans and vibing in whichever way.
Burger. Okay, first of all, first of all, the reason this space is so that I like the comfy part of this space is like truly all you guys. Like it's all you. Burger. But I love that sentiment. That's genuinely so fucking beautiful, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like hanging out with and being exposed to different modes of being and different ways of operations and different understandings of the self is the way that we grow and the way that we evolve and the way that we implement new worldviews into our own sphere is by being exposed to them, you know? And we can go out seeking exposure or we can internalize it in different ways. But like that's a real testament to yourself, Burger, as a person, that you would be open to that kind of experience and that kind of like nuance of difference, and that you would be wanting to and eager to integrate that into your own worldview is a really big testament to like the strength of your character. Like that's so cool. That's so cool. First of all, I'm so proud of you for taking those steps. Not everybody can do that, you know, and I am so grateful to have been a part of that in any small way. Thank you so much, Burger, for saying that. And I am so grateful. And thank you. And also, of course, thank you for the biddies. Thank you for the biddies. But most of all, thank you for being a part of this space. Rocks are great. Worked with them for 10 years. What did you do with working with rocks? Carve them into frogs. Do you have frog? I couldn't do that to the rocks. I couldn't do that to the rocks quick. The rock is in itself a little being. I wouldn't want to carve it. Do you know what I did before I put the rocks in my little terrarium is I took like 2 hours and I stood in the kitchen sink and I scrubbed them all with a toothbrush to remove them of dirt and clean them so they would be happy little rocks. And I'm so glad that I did because now they're all so beautiful and their colors really shine through. I'm probably going to send you a really nice dude. Eli, would you really? I would treasure the rock. I would absolutely treasure a rock from a friend. If any of you, like truly, I would love to receive a rock in the mail. I would love to receive a rock. It would be amazing. Thank you, Eli. We should just send a rock from every country to Frog. If they are frog shaped, then it's a bonus. The point of the people. I would fucking love a rock. Although I don't know how well that would work, like with customs. I think that maybe since it would be biological material in some capacity, I don't know if we could. I don't know if that would work. Steven.
Hello, friends. We had a snowstorm, and I still have to go to work. Frog Moon Grumpy.
Ew, Steven, that fucking sucks. I'm so sorry to hear that. That really blows. Well, I hope that work is painless. I hope that it goes by quickly. Thank you so much for the 100 biddies. You didn't have to do that. You really didn't have to do that, but I really do appreciate it. I hope that work is okay. You could call in and be like, hi, I can't get my car out of my driveway because of all the fucking snow. Maybe they'd let you off the hook. Rocks rock, so true. Have you ever seen a good rock? They're simply the best. Do you know what I have kept in my pocket since I went on vacation with Afaj is a rock. and it's a rock that has like a perfectly smooth side, and I keep it in my coat pocket so that when I get nervous or overwhelmed in like public spaces, which is often, I can just rub the rock and it's like a nice grounding experience. It's my pocket rock. I love my pocket rock. Do you think neurotypicals have a pocket rock? I'm undiagnosed. I don't have any diagnosis, but like, you know, like, I don't know. I'm just vibing. I'm just vibing. I'm just here to vibe, you know? I also love cloves. I'm a huge slut for cloves. I was just saying, Nanners, earlier that I love anything like spiced for the winter. I'm so excited for winter teas and like mulled wine and stuff. Fetch the rocks, eat the rocks, eat sand instead. I don't know if you remember. I remember you, Nanners. I remember. I wasn't 100% sure it was from Egg Stream, so thank you for telling me. But I absolutely remember you. I have your name saved in my OBS as Nanners. Oh, I'm 10 minutes behind in chat. Oh shit, I didn't realize. What even is gender? So true. I sometimes labeling gender, like labeling a cloud, sometimes they fit into a broad category, sometimes they're just a cloud. Exact non-crab. That is a really beautiful way to put it. Also, hi non-crab. It's so good to see you. Welcome on in. I didn't realize until I was older, but I've always been into gender fuckery. My first crush was David Bowie as Jareth and Lavender Lake. That makes so much sense, Inners. That makes so much sense. That's so real. One of my formative... I don't know if anyone else has had the experience. Okay, do you guys remember the movie Scooby-Doo? Like the live action Scooby-Doo. I think it was like Monster Park, Monster Island, something like that. And there was one scene in the live action Scooby-Doo where Daphne and Fred like switched bodies. Like Fred was in Daphne and like Daphne was in Fred. And that scene, I was like,